I know I've briefly mentioned before my art exhibition that I did. I'm going back to maybe 2006, somewhere around that time when I started doing oil paintings and I submitted my work. There was a thing called People's Art in my hometown of Rochdale, and I think I'd got there a bit late to exhibit some work, and obviously I've just started doing oil paintings, and so I had to write to apply to have an exhibition. So although I missed the people's art, one of the things that I got accepted to do was to have a little exhibition in the restaurant area, a bit of a cafeteria. And so I had about 20 odd days to get together enough paintings for an exhibition. I submitted some images which I was asked to do for the exhibition, and they were just random different places, random different oil paintings, and I was accepted. I got a letter through the post accepting my application for an exhibition. And my younger brother came across my paintings. He saw a few of my paintings, what I was doing. I had, when I lived in a flat, had a nice big fireplace, and I was painting two at a time and sometimes three to get this deadline. Obviously, bearing in mind that oils take a little while to dry. We keep watching. I'm just, while I share a bit of my backstory, I'm doing a painting as well. So I was painting and I had these canvases propped up on my fireplace, had the spotlights coming down, and I just loved it. I was up till late for a few evenings while I got these paintings ready for the exhibition. But the funny thing was, my brother saw my paintings and he said, remind him of Lowry. I did put up a post with a link of a video that I found here on YouTube on L.S Lowry and his paintings, and I didn't really know much about L.S Lowry at the time. I'd obviously seen some of his paintings and knew a little bit about him, just dipping into a bit of his story. And so, yeah, my brother thought that my paintings reminded him a little bit of L.S Lowry. So I just kind of dismissed that. I thought I didn't see it, and I didn't think that my paintings were, but I was happy. It was quite a nice thing to say. And so while I was getting paintings ready for this exhibition, I remember really thinking, where can I go? I need to get some new places. I need to get some photographs of different areas. I wanted to stay fairly local, and I was working at a warehouse at the time. This is going back, yeah, like I said, about 2007, that sort of time. And I remember getting out of my car in the car park to this warehouse, and I was thinking over and over and over again, I was thinking, where can I go? Where can I go for inspiration? I really need something. I need. And as I was doing that, walking into the place where I worked, I looked up and there was a chap coming towards me. Never seen this guy before, but the first words that he said to me was, I've just come back from York. And I sort of looked at him and, oh, right. And I thought at first it was someone that I knew. But after chatting to a second, I realised that I've not seen this guy before, and he was telling me about York and how nice it was. So there was my my answer was to go to York and just to see what's around and get some pictures, some photographs, so that I could do some more painting for my exhibition. So as I went to York, this is one of the scenes that I found, and I just had to paint this one. This is actually one that my brother did compare me to Lowry, saying that it reminds him of Lowry. And I just love the trees, the colours. And this is actually called Judi Dench Walk, which was really interesting. So I'd been to a few different places. I went to Manchester a couple of times, took a number of photographs of things that I would like to paint, and I did so. But when I was looking in my camera and I was zooming in at some of the pictures and looking, just after my brother said that my paintings reminded him of Lowry, I zoomed in on one of the pictures on my camera, zoomed in, and there was these big letters on the side of a building, Lowry. So it was kind of funny. That triggered me off into looking into the life of L.S Lowry. And it was quite funny what I found. The actual date of my, and I'm going back now, trying to remember the sort of the details of this. But I was looking back when I started looking at L.S Lowry, the life of L.S Lowry. The actual date that he died was the same date that my exhibition was to be held, and he actually died in 1976, which was the year that I was born. There's actually another significant date or timeline, and I can't quite remember. It might have been 30 years, something like that, since he passed. That would make sense. And I think I was 30 years old at the time, something like that. Forgive me, I don't remember, and that's why I need to write things down. But yeah, it was quite interesting, just some of the parallels, and I'm not claiming anything, or I'm just stating the facts. So take what you want from that. But quite interesting, really. He was from the north, and in the video that I did post the other day, it actually talks a lot about the same sort of places. So, and I often think maybe my granddad, he was a painter, maybe they crossed paths, who knows, because my granddad liked to get out and paint subjects from the same sort of area. So it's just a nice thought that I'd like to think of. But yeah, it's quite interesting. And whether you like him or not, he, L.S Lowry, he was famous for the matchstick men, matchstick cats and dogs. He often included those in his painting. There is actually a few figures in this which I will add. And it's just interesting the way he portrayed the world and his surroundings. And like I said, he is one of the more famous English artists. I think people either love him, or I think most people do love his work, and they're actually worth quite a lot of money. Some people are lucky to sort of find some of his works in the attic, that sort of thing, and they sell for thousands, hundreds of thousands. So yeah, it's quite an interesting story, and he led quite a interesting life, to say the least. And yeah, so I just thought I'd do this painting, and I've always wanted to try some sort of different artist style, and yeah, it's just nice to try different things and take you along with me. And by the way, there is a Lowry. There's a few places in Manchester, obviously named after Lowry, like the Lowry. It's in Salford Quays. There's a place, the Lowry. It's a shopping centre, and also, I think I've done that wrong. So it's a shopping place named after him, and I think there is, and I've been a couple of times to the gallery. There's a Lowry exhibition, and I think it's home there. It's been there for a few years. I think maybe I should take you along if you're interested in that, and show you some of the. There's a bit of a feature. You can watch a video on his life, and then look at his paintings in the gallery. So it's really quite something. And an interesting thing about Lowry is a lot of his paintings, he did these really sort of bold lines in his paintings, and a lot of them do look almost childlike the way he depicted them, but they're really pleasing to look at. And I think it might be him, when I was looking into his life, said there's a lot of snobbery around art, sort of la-di-da sort of people, and thinking all sorts, but he just painted what he saw, and it was interesting the way he saw things. So if you've not checked that video out that I linked in a post, do check it out. It is really interesting. It's a good watch. I enjoyed it. And there's a few things really on YouTube, because it was so popular as an artist. There's a few videos that you can find if you're interested in looking at his life. Quite sad really as well. He had quite a sad life, but yeah, just check it out. Another interesting thing about Lowry is he didn't often paint, or maybe even ever paint shadows. So in a lot of his paintings, you may notice that they're quite elongated as well, these figures, but they never had any shadows in his paintings, and oftentimes they'd almost look like the figures were floating. And that's another one of his, could be an appeal to some people, just different. And so Lowry's life and his art was very different, and that's probably what made him so popular. And just working on tidying up a few of these lines. I've added the dark contrasting buildings either side, which does a good job of dragging your eye into the scene. And this is quite a thick, broad line. If I did have a bigger pen, bigger tip, then I would use. I don't want to damage the paper by going over it too many times, but I think I'm happy with this. Just finish this one, and I think we'll call this one done. I think I've got everything. So let me just remove the tape, So I'll show you that as I do it without ripping the paper. So let's just go ahead and remove that tape. And I'm hoping you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know which of Lowry's paintings are your favourites. I'd love to know. But that's that for this one. My wife does actually like L.S Lowry, so maybe this could be a Christmas present. Just sign this. I know that's another thing that I don't usually do. Sign my paintings. I've got stacks and stacks of paintings upstairs, which I need to probably dig out at some point and sign. And then maybe one day just have a display somewhere, and I can maybe do something with those. But that's it. Thanks for watching this video. Please do hit the thumbs up and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.